viewers, welcome to BrickVault. My name is Mike and today it is another mock episode. This thing right here is another AT-AT. We love those guys, great walkers from Star Wars. And this one here is a plus size version of a set 75054 that was released some time ago by LEGO. And this one was designed by Raskolnikov, great builder that loved AT-AT so much that he made a bigger version. So we got all the parts, roughly 2,499 parts, almost 2,500. Pretty big build, I would say. And the funny thing is that you can get the instructions for free. That's right, go to BrickVault.com. I'm gonna leave a link in the description below. And you can definitely download the instructions in a beautiful PDF form. The instructions were designed by a user Lego LIGNTJE. I'm not sure how to spell that, but that's credits for his instructions. So you can download them, get the parts, and get this beautiful guy onto his desk. So I have my laptop here, all the instructions are ready to go. Let's pour the box and get this guy done. One thing worth mentioning, never do that if you're a bricklink seller. Don't stack plates like that. Now I'm trying to separate them using two brick separators. Ah! Alright, and as you can probably tell by now, we really like AT-ATs. This one, that is the plus version as I mentioned, is totally done right now. And first thing that you notice when you finish the set and pick it up, it is actually very sturdy. Each one of the legs is a full Technic frame inside. So all the four legs make a pretty good base for the entire body. Nothing is actually very wobbly, everything just holds in place very well. And the connections used in the legs actually make it possible to position the legs in a different way, making the AT-AT look like it's walking. That is a very welcomed feature to me because, for example, the big AT-AT we have in my office is not entirely movable, and pretty much the legs can only be placed in one position to not make this thing fall apart. So I'm quite happy that with this one I can make it stand with legs fully straight and also place them in a more dynamic position. And one thing that really catches the eye here is that the feet are somewhat too small in proportion to the rest of the entire build. I think I will be addressing this part of the build in the near future by modifying these feet to make them look slightly better. But enough with the rant about the legs, these still work very well, this guy is not falling anywhere and still looks pretty cool. Moving up to the torso, you can see that the shape is cut pretty nicely. I still think that the biggest AT-AT we have has those proportions done much better because of the scale, but right here the scale is a compromise between the sturdiness and the actual looks, and the plus model wins in sturdiness department. You can lift the side panels of the body just as in the set it was based on, that is the 75054, and not only there is plenty of space inside for the stormtroopers and cargo carried by the AT-AT, but there is also some detailing, like you can see this ladder for example and some emergency lights, and the entire Technic frame can be visible from here, showing how solid this build is. The modular panel build of such AT-AT is quite a common thing, but in this case the shape was cut very nicely, and by that I mean there are hardly any gaps between the panels. Everything seems to be measured very accurately, and as we had several problems with fitting all those panels on the big brother of these AT-AT, this plus size version has everything much better placed, and I was actually quite impressed by the initial result while I was putting those panels together. I was kind of afraid I would have some gaps or some weird placements here and there, but no such thing occurred. And let's take a small look at the back of the body. You can see that the walker's booty is also quite nicely detailed. The one thing worth mentioning is that the use of pieces along the entire body is also very well done, as all the major aspects of engineering this walker are captured pretty accurately with the use of a very few pieces. I like the fact that the detailing is subtle and looks very good both from afar and from the close-ups. Alright, but let's move on onto the head of the AT-AT. And one important thing about this part of the build is that the entire neck is also very solid. The neck is not only held by a number of Technic bars, but also the connection inside the torso is reinforced by double Technic bars. The number of Technic pins that was used here is quite impressive. I almost felt that it was somewhat of an overkill to make such a light build for the head so well connected. I mean, even the big AT-AT didn't have that much of a frame here. Anyhow, all this makes it possible to move the head left and right, and not only the head moves but also the neck, meaning that we can position the head in various different positions. The interior of the head is not very flushed out, but there is a space for two pilots or officers, or an officer and a gunner, and there is also a third spot for the AT-AT commander. So for example, we can put Commander Veers in this one. And one cool cockpit detail here is those binoculars on an arm that seem to represent a targeting system for the commander. I don't know about you guys, but I'm usually impressed by such details. The head also consists of various panels to make up the shape, and these work pretty well, but I think that is the only case in the entire build that you actually have a small gap between the panels right in the front here at the head. Actually, it is nothing to be disappointed about, but I think a simple rubber band and some hooks inside the head, like a technique used in the Rogue One AT-AT set, could fix this gap pretty easily. All in all, this is a neat build, definitely an upgrade from the set it was based on, and I'm pretty sure that many of the techniques used for building here were taken from the exact set, just supersized in scale. No matter what the premise was behind this mock, Raskolnikov, the designer, did a very good job, and for anyone loving the AT-ATs like we do, this is a cool set to pick up, especially given the fact that the instructions are completely free and can be easily downloaded. So if you are an AT-AT fan or the Imperial officer that wants to have a model on his desk, go ahead, get the instructions, and definitely start purchasing the parts. The total cost should come around $200 plus shipping. Alright, and now let's compare this plus size AT-AT to the big brother. As you can see, they are standing right next to each other. And if you ask me which one is closer to the minifig scale, I will still say that the big one is closer. The plus size is more of a playable set still, and the proportions are somewhat slightly off here and there, but the price is still pretty hard to beat, as you can pick up the parts for the plus size AT-AT for around $200 plus shipping, which is somewhere in a big UCS set department. And if you are into UCS sets, that's the Ultimate Collector series, you can also pick up the sticker for this set that is available online. And just to add one more comparison, here is the AT-AT that was designed by our very own Charlie, that is a mini size AT-AT, quite fragile however, but still very good looking, and Charlie even submitted it to LEGO Ideas some time ago. We also have an episode on this one if you wanna check it out. So right now you can see all three AT-ATs, the mini size, the plus size, and the big one. The only thing that is missing right here is the actual official LEGO size AT-AT. And after building this one, I think that we may actually start an AT-AT collection and maybe pick up the official set at some time in the future. I am really glad that I built this guy, will look great in the office. And the one last thing I want to show you is how this AT-AT would look like in our LEGO city, and perhaps how it would look like if an AT-AT ever walked into a life-sized city. You can totally see that it's towering the buildings. It would be pretty hard to match the height of it with any weapon for defense purposes, so I guess the general intimidation of such walker in a city would easily take effect. And one last thing I think I forgot to mention is that the AT-AT has a trapdoor to the storage compartment, so you can either deploy the stormtroopers from the walker or allow Luke Skywalker to climb and destroy it. And one more look at the AT-AT towering the city. Quite a view to witness, I have to be honest, but I would not like to be on the receiving end of this guy. And with that in mind, thank you guys so much for watching. That is the plus size AT-AT by Raskolnikov, an upgrade from the set 75054. Great build, very affordable. Pick it up if you can. And of course, tune in for cool videos in the future. Leave a like if you like this video, and if you like our content, subscribe, support us, really appreciate it. We love doing all those things for you guys. Thank you again. My name is Mike, and I'll see you again on BrickVault.